pharmaceutical creams. Pharmaceutical creams are the OW type of preparation or WO type of preparations, which are generally uh, semi-solid in nature, and they are having the versatile advantages or the applications. Generally, for the face cleaning purpose, we are using the cleansing cream. For the hand washing purpose, we are using the hand washing creams, as well as for other purpose also we are having the cosmetics type of creams for the application on the your uh, face. So basically, how can we define your cream? So cream is consist of medicaments in which we may dissolve or suspend your drug or your other materials in water removable or water heating emollient type of bases, like lipidic or the oilic type of bases, and they are classified as oil in water or water in oil type of preparations. So here they are basically emulsion in nature, or we can say thick type of or the viscous type of emulsion, and they are providing the localized effect or sometimes systemic effect. It means inside the blood, or sometimes for the beautification purpose also we are using the your creams, or to hide the imperfections of your uh, face. For that purpose also we are using the creams. Now they can be defined as, in another way, semi-solid dosage form containing one or more drug substances dissolved or dispersed in the suitable base. So base is the main vehicle of your cream. Then they are either OW or WO type. Now, initially, we'll see regarding the little bit about their creams. They are extensively used nowadays into the your cosmetic preparations. So they are having the versatile applications, and generally they are important content of the your skin or the cosmetologist or the cosmetics. Whatever we are using, they are most probably we are using for the skin purpose, or they are either topical purpose we are using. And another type of also applications are there for their creams, generally for the washing purpose, for the delivering of the some important vital vitamins also. So nutrition purpose also, massage purpose also, we are having the versatile creams. So this is about your creams. Then uses, if you see about your creams, so there is the first provision for the utilization and behind your creams is that they are acting as a we can say barrier against the various types of environmental condition, and they are protecting the your skin. Generally they may be act as a physical barrier or the chemical barrier. So they are providing the, we can say, extensive protection to the, your skin from the outside purpose also, and also they are having the ability to give the support to your skin from the internal problems also. Generally, cleansing and emollient effects are also there with your various types of creams. So generally, cleansing cream is used for the cleaning of your face, to remove the your dust, debris, as well as to make impart the glossy look to your face, as well as the some local type of medicinal uses are also there, like anti-inflammatory is there, anesthetics creams are also there, then antibiotics creams are also there, antifungal creams are most probably we are using. So these are the various kind of drugs also we add into your cream, and we can formulate the medicated creams. So from the medication to the your beautification, so there are the number of creams are there, and there are various kind of purpose behind the utilization of that creams. Now, what are the basic types of your creams? Generally, there are the two types of cream, OW and WO type cream. OW means oil in water type of cream. So, oil in water creams are generally comes under the oily creams, which are composed of small droplets of oil, and they are dispersed in the continuous phase. More comfortable and cosmetically acceptable type of creams are these, and they are less greasy and more easily washable out of water, because they are oil in water. So water content is more. They are having the emulsifying agents also, like natural origin material, beeswax, wool fat, alcohols, as well as they are acting as a emollient, as well as they are having the translucent effect or the translucent look. And examples are like uh, fluocinolone acetonide cream. Then another types of cream on the basis of, now another cream is the your aqueous type of cream. They are called as the water in oil type of cream, which are composed of small droplets of water, and they are a little bit difficult while washing because the most probably they are containing the high portion of the liquid oils. That's why they are quite difficult to easily washing. So it is quite having the, you can say, greasiness, and they are having the hydrophobic substances in there. Then they are used as especially moisturizing cream when we are using in winter. So we require the such kind of cream, that is moisturizing cream. And examples are your common cold cream, moisturizing cream. These kind of creams are not, we can say, having the most type of drug. Because only we are using them for the emollient purpose most of time. Some other types of creams are there. They are called as the cosmetic creams, like baby cream, then barrier cream, bleaching cream, cleansing cream, cold cream, hair cream, hand cream, washing cream. So these are the vanishing cream is there. So these are the various types of creams are there. Depending on their purpose of use, we can categorize them into the various categories. Some medicated creams are also there, which are containing your drug like hydrocortisone, then antifungal drug, then antiseptic drug is there, antibiotics drug is there. So if you are preparing the simple cream and if you are adding any kind of drug for the topical use purpose, then it will be termed as a medicated cream. Then, on the basis of phase, we are having the two types of cream: oil in water, that is OW type of cream, and water in oil. Then classification of cream, depending on the your skin problems or depending on your requirement, we can have the another type of classification, that is according to the nature of or the type of emulsion, what type of bases we are used, whether it is OW or WO. So this is one categorization technique. Another technique is the according to the function or the use of that cream. Suppose you want to use the cream for the cleansing purpose only. Sometimes some people are using foundation creams only. After that, we are making the makeup. So massage cream is there for the only massage purpose we are using them. So this is the another category, that is called as the according to the function or the use of that cream. We are dividing them into the cleansing cream, foundation cream, and massage cream. Then another cream is the according to their specific type of characteristics, like vanishing cream and the cold creams. Vanishing cream means it will vanishes just when you are applying on your skin. Another cream scheme is the cold cream. Especially it is used only the winter season. So this is called as the cold cream. So this is the characteristics of that cream that having a particular utilization. So depending on that, we are having the cold cream and vanishing cream as examples. Now the broad categorization or the, we can say, number of creams which you are going to study are the on the basis of their function, like cleansing cream, foundation cream, night massage cream, then head and body cream, as well as the all purpose as well as the general type of cream. So these are the near about five creams are there, or the five categories are there. We will see one by one how that creams are prepared, as well as what are the function of that creams, and what are the basic ingredients of that cream. Now first cream is the cleansing cream. Today we are not that much using this cleansing cream, but it was prominently used previously for the cleansing of the your face, as well as to remove the unwanted debris, as well as to maintain the hygienic condition of your skin. Previously, we were most probably using the cleansing cream. So this clean cream is specially meant for the cleaning of the your face only. So utilization of that cream or the uses of this cream is that cleansing cream is required for the removal of facial makeup. When we are having the makeup and after your function, you want to wash out your face. So at that time, to wash out it cleanly your face, we require to use some time of cleansing cream, because you have applied already suppose makeup. So it may have the oily substances, some water soluble substances. So they may not be easily cleaned out by your simple water or the soap. So to remove it completely from the face, and to give the, we can say, one safetiness to your face, we are using the cleansing cream to completely remove your applied face makeup, as well as to clean your face. So for that purpose we are using the your cleansing creams. So generally, some desirable properties of the cleansing cream are, when you are applying your skin, uh, cleansing cream for the cleaning purpose. So in that case, it should be remove your all the material from your skin or the from your face. So as well as it should not have any kind of problem, or that cleansing cream should not interact with your face, or it should not create any kind of topical kind of problems with your skin. So this is the requirement of your cleansing cream, and after that it should have the ability to clean out the your all the makeup, or it should clean your face properly. It should wash out the oil soluble as well as water soluble material from your face. So these are the desirable properties of your cream, whatever I have told you that. So another desirable properties are, it should be have the good stability as well as good looking appearance, as well as it should be able to remove the oil soluble as well as water soluble material. Then it should have soften after the application. Then it should be easily spread on your face when you want to apply it for washing purpose. Then during application it should not have the oily or the greasy feel when you are washing out your makeup with the help of your cleansing cream. So after that your cleansing cream should not make any kind of problem with your skin, or it should not harm the any kind of we can say unwanted type of film on your skin. Types of cleansing cream. There are the two types of your cleansing cream. That is the, you can say, depending on the its content. First type is the white emulsified cold cream. So cold cream is well known to all of you. I have shown here examples of Pond's moisturizing cold cream. So this cream is little bit, we can say, totally oily material is having here, and it is called as also beeswax borax type of cream. So it is having the higher contents of lipids, and which is having the we can say very good consistency compared to the other type of creams. When we are applying them onto your skin, generally they will get liquefied and they will easily spread on your face. So they are having the oil in water type of emulsion as a base in this cream. When this cream are you want to apply, so initially we have to rub it on your skin by using the sufficient quantity, and then it will easily spread on your face. In this cream, borax is present, which will react with the freely present fatty acids of your cream, and they will form the soap on the surface of your skin. So because of the formation of that soap, it will easily clean out, or it will easily remove your stain present on your skin, or your other kind of material or the other type of makeup which you are applied previously. So easily it will be clean out because of the formation of the soap due to the reaction with the borax and the free fatty acid. Then next category is the liquefying cleansing cream. Liquefying cleansing cream. So these are the translucent, liquefying, anhydrous type of cleansing creams. They are having the sixotropic nature. They have a mixture of oil and waxes and have such consistency that they liquefy when they are gently massaged on your skin. The portion of mineral oil and waxes is very important to avoid the problems like separation, sweating, as well as the granular appearance. So in this cream, there is the, we can say, more water content is available. So compared to your previous cream, that is the beeswax cream. In this cream, we are using the oil plus water. Now another cream is the vanishing cream as well as the foundation type of cream. So vanishing cream, as the name indicates, it vanishes after just we are applying on your cream, or it will easily disappear when we are applying on your face. So it is called as the vanishing or the disappearing cream. These creams are composed of emollient material. Emollient material means when we are applying this cream to your skin, generally they will form the one thin layer of their base on your skin, and they will give the plasticity to your cream, smoothness they will provide to your cream face or the skin, and it is nothing but we can say acting as a emollient effect on your skin. It means they will impart the smoothness to your skin, and they will avoid the dryness. They will improve the moisture content of your skin. Generally, these creams are prepared by using the stearic acid and your remaining other material. Generally, such kind of stearic acid, when we are using in this cream, they will avoid the formation of the white or the patch, whiteness of your skin. Now foundation cream is there. This foundation cream is nothing but the we can say basic type of material we are using prior to application of your makeup. So they are giving the we can say good base, or they will help to hold your makeup on your skin. So that's why they are applied. That is called as the foundation cream. So previously we have to apply this foundation, and after that you want to make any kind of makeup, then you can apply the your makeup. So this foundation cream will help to hold your makeup for the whole day. So this is the you can say utility of this foundation cream. Now after that, night and massage cream is there. Generally these creams are meant for the your massage of the skin. Generally for the baby's purpose, we are using this kind of cream. As well as at the night we are applying them for your body. It means for generally in case of night massage cream, we are adding the some vitamins or the some nutrients we are adding, as well as we are requiring the emollient effect. So generally, when we are applying the cream, such kind of creams, so large quantities should be applied on the whole body. Generally, for baby's purpose, we are using them. So that's why to absorb it completely from the body, so it should be applied at the night. So whole night that baby will be in the sleepy condition. So the whole cream will be absorbed very easily. If at the daytime we are applying it, so it is quite difficult to move from one side from here to the here for that person. So it will attract the dust. That's why at the night time the person may be in the sleep. That's why the dust may not attracted, and whatever the cream you are using, it is containing the various kind of nutrients or the vitamins. So they will nourish your skin, and they will provide the you can say nutrient type of effect to your skin. And another massage type of cream is there, that is for the application for the massaging purpose we are using this, such kind of cream. So there are the we can say dual or the triple purpose are there behind the application of this night and massage creams. So here we are providing the nourishment to your skin because it contains the various kind of vitamins, as well as it is slippery in nature. So it will help for the massaging purpose. So easily we can massage on the small body childs or the small children. So this is the multi-purpose type of cream we can say. Next cream is the hand and body type of cream. So hand and body type of creams are those creams, generally they are called as the general type of creams. So for the normal purpose we are using them. So for the various kind of small type of infection, for the antiseptic purpose, or for the washing purpose of your hands also, and to give the you can say nutrient effect on your body purpose also, we are using such kind of hand and body type of creams. So generally these creams are we can say having the OW or W type of content. These creams may have sometimes contents of the various kind of detergent for easily washing purpose. We are using this kind of cream. It may have the sometimes high proportion of the lipids. So depending on your requirements, we can prepare the such kind of cream for the washing purpose of your hand also, for the body purpose also. And most of time, it may contain the medicinal agent like antifungal or the any kind of anti-inflammatory agent, which will provide the we can say effect for the protection of your skin. Generally, the main function of this cream is that to provide the oily film on your skin to protect it from the environmental conditions, as well as it will keep your skin very much smooth, not greasy. Okay, and it is easy to apply for your skin. Generally, for the children purpose or the small baby purpose, we are using this cream. Another cream is the all-purpose type of cream. It means the general type of cream is there. So it is having the all kind of functions. We can say. Generally, this cream is used as nourishing type of cream. For the night time, we can apply them, as well as the it is having the we can say good spreadability. They are having the oily nature also, as well as the it is having the water content also. So for we can say massage purpose also we can them, for the nutrition providing purpose also we can use them. So it is near to similar as like as your night as well as the massage cream. Now the manufacturing process or the preparation of your creams. Generally, the creams are prepared by just mixing of your all the ingredients, and the mixing is done just by the separately heating your oil soluble as well as water soluble material. So very simple technique is there for the preparation of the cream. Whatever the ingredients are given, so we have to divide them into the two parts. General procedure is there. All the creams are having the oil soluble as well as the water soluble ingredient or the excipients. So first of all, separate out your water soluble and separate out your oil soluble ingredient and heat them separately up to the 70 degrees centigrade, and then slowly mix both the phases with each other. Suppose we are having the oil soluble phase and water soluble phase. So separate out all the ingredients according to their solubility in oil and water, then heat them separately, and then any one phase mix with the other phase very slowly with the stirring. So by this way, we can prepare the your cream. So this is the simple way we can use the or we can prepare the your cream. I am showing you some formulas. This is the formula for the preparation of cleansing cream. In this cleansing cream, we are having the beeswax, almond oil, linolene as a oil soluble material, and then water soluble material is there, that is borax, rose water, preservative as well as the perfume. So initially what we have to do, we have to melt your oil soluble phase as well as the water soluble phase separately. Then after that we have to mix them with each other by mixing slowly. So the mixing should be very efficient till the your complete homogeneous cream is formed. This is the another type of formula for the preparation of your liquefying cleansing cream. So it is having the mineral oil, petrolatum, then paraffin wax, beeswax, preservative, perfume. This is the formula of foundation makeup cream. So it is having the lanolate wax, stearic acid as a oil soluble material. Then water soluble material is glycerin, powder base, water as a preservative, a vehicle, then a preservative, color as well as the perfume. This is the formula for hand and body type of cream. Isopropyl myristate is used as a main ingredient. Then mineral oil, stearic acid, emulsifying wax, linolene. These all are oil soluble material. Then water soluble material are glycerin, triethylamine, then preservative, color, antioxidants as well as the perfume. This is the formula of all-purpose cream. It is having the wool alcohol, hard paraffin, white soft paraffin, liquid paraffin, antioxidants, as well as the perfume. Now, another ingredients in your cream we can add as a special type of ingredient when it is required. Generally, the important ingredient of any kind of cream is the permeation enhancer. The permeation enhancer is the one ingredient which is having the ability to increase the permeation of your drug into your skin. So, for the medicated cream, when we are using any kind of anti-inflammatory drug or any kind of antifungal drug. So in this case, the effectiveness of that cream is depend on the viability of that drug or the effectiveness of that drug. So the sometimes your skin is acting as a barrier. It is not you can say permitting your drug to insert inside the skin or to penetrate inside your blood. So your drug suppose not permitted or the uh, released toward your blood, then you will not get the effect. So here skin is acting as a barrier. So sometimes to improve the viability or to increase the rate of permeation of your drug toward your skin, we can use the permeation enhancer. So these are the agents which are having the ability to increase the rate of permeation of the drug inside your skin, or they can lead your skin, they can increase the permeation or the absorption of the drug inside the blood more from the skin. So here we will get the fast effect from that cream. So that's why we need to use the permeation enhancer. So this is called as the permeation enhancer. Generally, this permeation enhancer will cause the, we can say, swelling of your cells, whatever the cells are present on your top of the skin. So they will cause the swelling of that cells, and that's why the cell wall will become thin and your drug will be easily will get permitted easily from your skin. So there are several mechanisms behind the permeation enhancer. So here permeation enhancer are used to increase the permeation of your drug or to increase the rate of diffusion of your drug across your skin. So this is called as the permeation enhancer. This is the important ingredient of your all kind of creams or the topical type of preparation like ointment also. The example is ethanol, oleic acid, polyethylene glycol. So these are the examples of permeation enhancers. Then preservative. Preservative is also important parameter or the important ingredient of your cream, because your cream is very much prone for the microbial attack, because cream is containing the oil as well as the water. So water will give the suitable, you can say favorable environment for the development of microorganism. So that's why to avoid the denaturation of your cream, we have to use the preservative. So there are so many preservatives are available for the utilization of inside the cream, like benzoic acid, phenyl ethyl alcohol. So any kind of suitable preservative you can use in your cream. Then thickening agent. Thickening agent means what? The agents which can increase the viscosity of your cream. So the thickening agent like cellulose, pectin, carbopol can be added into your skin cream for increasing its viscosity. Now, what is the utilization of your thickening agent in your cream? When we are adding the thickening agent or any kind of viscosity agent, so first thing is that it will give the we can say it will help into the application of your cream, because if your cream is having the suitable viscosity, then by your simple finger we can remove the some amount of required cream from your container, and you can easily spread it on your skin. If your cream is not having the proper viscosity, then what will happen? Suppose it is too much fluidy in nature, then it will not easily be spreaded or it will not easily come with your finger. So this is the we can say problem with the less we can say amount of your thickening agent. Then when your cream is having the proper viscosity, then it will remain on your skin for the longer period, so because of the high viscosity. Then fragrances are there. So depending on your requirement or the site of application, we can use the required fragrances like lavender oil, then lemon oil can be used as a fragrances. Then antioxidant is there. That is also another ingredient we require to for the preparation of your cream. So antioxidants are the those agents which can avoid the oxidation of your product. So ascorbic acid can be used as your antioxidant. Then base, it is also important type of your ingredient of cream. or the vehicle of your cream, we can say, that is called as the base here. In liquids, we are called it, we are saying the vehicle for the your main ingredient or the larger quantity, or in case of solid dosage form, we are calling it as a diluent. But in case of your semi-solid preparation, your vehicle is act as a here base, or the base is given name. Generally, there are the four type of bases available for the preparation of your all kind of semi-solid preparations. Like your hydrocarbon bases are there, emulsifying bases are there, water removable bases are there, as well as the emulsion base are there. So these are the various kind of bases are there. So depending on your suitability, we can choose the any kind of base. So here generally emulsion base are preferred for the preparation of the cream. Then examples are white petroleum base, lanolin base, cholesterol base can be used for the preparation of your cream. Then buffering agent we are using for the maintaining the required pH of your preparation. Phosphate buffer, citrate buffer can be added into your cream to maintain your required pH. Then chelating agents are there. Chelating agents are those agents which can form the complex with the oxygen, and they will avoid the you can say oxidation of your product. So they are called as the EDTA, citric acid. So chelating agent are nothing but you can say antioxidants. Then emulsifying agent we require, as depending on your type of cream, whether you are preparing oil in water or water in oil, we can use the any kind of suitable emulsifying agent like detergent, pseudosterol alcohol. These are the examples we can use as an emulsifying agent. Then humectants are added into your cream. What is the use of humectant? Humectant are those preparation or the ingredients which can have the ability to provide the required moisture of your product, or they will maintain the required water content of your cream, and they will we can say avoid the drying of your cream. And from the manufacturing to the last date of application of your cream, when your ultimate user going to apply it, so till the finishing of your whole product, your humectant will maintain the required humidity or the required moisture of your preparation. Generally, glycerin, propylene glycol, polyethylene glycol can be used as a good humecting agent. Then classification of your base. Already I have told you that hydrocarbon bases are there, absorption bases are there, emulsion bases are there, water soluble bases are there, and water removable bases are there. Any one base we can choose for the preparation of your cream. Then method of preparation of your cream. So I have already told you technique how to prepare the general your cream. So this such kind of cream can be prepared by the trituration method also. So in this case, we can take your all the ingredients. If your all the ingredients are viscous in nature, then by using the your mortar and pestle, also we can prepare the your cream without heating. So here all the ingredient we can mix with each other and thoroughly mix it with the help of mortar and pestle, and then we can prepare the your cream. So this is called as a trituration method. So this method is also used for the preparation of ointments. So all the ingredients we have to take along with your base, and we have to mix it thoroughly inside your mortar and pestle. So by this way also we can formulate your cream. Then levication method is also, in this method we have to rub your ingredient and slightly your base we have to melt with the help of heat, and then we have to mix the other ingredients along with your base with the help of mortar and pestle. So same method is there, simply little bit your base we have to heat. Then fusion method is there. This is the fusion method. In this method, we have to melt your water soluble ingredient and oil soluble ingredient separately, and then slowly we have to mix them with each other with the stirring. That is called as the fusion method. Fusion why? Because we are using the heat here for melting of your all the ingredient. So that's why it is called as the fusion method. And again, we are mixing your oily phase with the water phase or the aqueous phase slowly. So that's why it is called as the fusion method. Then mechanical addition method is there. Generally, for the water removal creams, we are using this mechanical addition cream technique. Here, hydrophilic emulsifying agent is included in the aqueous phase in order to obtain the stable oil in water type of dispersion. Sodium lauryl sulfate is used in the preparation of the hydrophilic ointment. So, in this case, we are generally mixing the your all the ingredients with each other with the help of mortar and pestle as well as your trituration method. These are the instruments generally we are using for the preparation of your creams. The same instruments we can use for the preparation of toothpaste, preparation of your gel as well as your ointment. So these are all the we can say semi-solid preparation can be prepared with the help of such kind of apparatuses. Then quality control and the standards of your cream. Generally, when you are preparing your all kind of creams, so we should take care about the your we can say quality of your product. The some requirements are there as like as your parental preparation. So in case of creams, when we are applying this cream on your face, so they should easily liquefy or they should spread easily on your face, and they should have the optimum type of viscosity, so that will permit to easy spreading as well as uh, when we are using the such kind of cream on your face, so they should easily penetrate from your skin, and your drug should reach inside your blood easily, and there should not be any kind of problem. So what are the evaluation tests under the creams? They should be evaluated for their pH, viscosity, rheological behavior, sensitivity, biological test, as well as the stability. So the pH of cream, that is also important, because when you are applying it on your skin, sometimes we are applying it for the face, so it should have the matching pH, and there should not be irritation of that skin because of your cream. So the pH of the cream can be determined usually by the pH meter, and for determination of the pH, generally we have to dilute the 1 gram of cream with the help of distilled water up to 100 ml. 1 gram pH, 1 gram cream is diluted to 100 ml, and then we can detect the pH of that cream by using the digital pH meter, as well as by using the sometime pH paper also it is possible. Then the viscosity is also important for the cream, because whatever the creams we are using, they should possess the such kind of optimum viscosity which facilitate good spreadability, good holding time on your skin, as well as ease of application. So for that purpose, by using the unique kind of suitable Brookfield viscometer, we can check the viscosity of your cream. Generally, in our institute, we are having the Brookfield viscometer, and in the Brookfield viscometer, we are choosing the various kind of spindles depending on the viscosity of your uh, cream. We can have the appropriate kind of spindle, and by using the spindle, we can find out the your viscosity of your preparation. At various speed level, we can check the viscosity of your cream, and at which speed we are getting the maximum torque and maximum viscosity, that will be the viscosity of your preparation. So it is the, we can say, one type of rheological behavior of your cream. As we are increasing the number of speed or different gear we are choosing, at different gear we are having the different speed, and we are getting the different kind of viscosities as well as different kind of torque. So at which speed we are getting the torque maximum, that will be the your viscosity of your preparation. So and that torque, we are getting the particular viscosity on maximum or the highest torque, whatever the viscosity we have, that will be the your final viscosity of preparation. In the same manner, we can find out the rheological behavior of your viscosity also, of preparation also. So generally, when we are increasing the speed, we are getting the different type of viscosity, and we have to note down it, and we have to plot the graph of your different reading on different gear or the different speed. And again, with the decreasing order, we have to again take the uh, readings of your viscosity. When you are taking that 1, 1.5, 2, 3, 60, 12. So by this way, whatever you are choosing the gear in the ascending order, you are getting the readings. Again, in the same manner, reversely, we have to take the readings of that viscosity, and again we have to plot the graph. So this is called as the rheogram of your viscous preparation. So by this way, we can find out the rheological behavior, whether it is thixotropic or any other. So by this way, we can get the idea that after increasing the shear, or the after increasing the shear rate, is there any changes in the behavior of your preparation occur or not? So by this way, we can check the viscosity as well as the rheological behavior of your cream. Then stability test is there. Under the stability, we can find out the globule size, phase separation, moisture absorption, shelf life, as well as the spreadability. Generally, the globule size is determined by using your any kind of microscope or the optical microscope we can use, and in this case, we can find out the globule size. So for that purpose, we can dilute your preparation 1 gram of your cream up to the 100 ml distilled water, and then you take the small quantity of the preparation on your slide, and you can observe the globule size by using the your micrometer. So here, whatever the globule size is there, that will be noted. As like your particle size analysis, we can find out the globule size of your cream. Why we are going to find out the globule size? Because your creams are nothing but the basically emulsions. So what is the globule size of that emulsion? We can find out. Then phase separation. Phase separation means, in this case, we have to keep your cream at the normal temperature, at room temperature, and you can observe it for the separation of its phase. Whether after preparation of your cream, as like as in emulsion, whether is there any changes in occur in the phases or not. So it will give the idea about the stability of your cream. So this is very simple test we can find out. Then moisture absorption studies. So is there in your cream, is there having any ability to absorb the moisture from the environment or not? So it can be checked. For that purpose, we can measure the particular amount of your cream, and you can keep it at the higher moisture. And then after that, we can find out the how much weight has been gained. So initial weight and final weight we have to compare. If the final weight is higher, then how much difference is there? So in percentage, we can calculate the how much percentage of moisture has been absorbed by your cream. So by this way also we can find out it. Then shelf life. The shelf life is nothing but the stability study of your cream at the higher temperatures and higher humidities. We can keep your different samples. For example, you are keeping your cream at the 70 degree centigrade, one sample at the 80 degree centigrade, one sample at the 90 degree centigrade. And at every temperature, when you are keeping your cream, definitely because of the higher temperature, it will cause the stability problem. So after every 20 days, after every 2 months, we can check the your appropriate qualities of your cream. So after 2 months, what are the changes occurred? If you are having the medicated cream, then you can find out the concentration of the drug, how much concentration was initially at the 0 days, and what is the concentration after the 2 months. So if the concentration is getting decreased, so after the 6 months how much concentration is there. So by likewise this we can find out the stability or the shelf life of your cream. When the 10% concentration of drug has been decreased from your final container or the from your sample, then you have to stop the stability study. So at suppose 90 degree centigrade, we have taken the 6 month, and within 6 months we have found that 10% drug has been totally lost from your total sample, and only 90% drug has been remained. So here we can predict that at 90 degree centigrade it is taking the suppose 2 month. Then at 25 degree centigrade, how many days will be it will stable? So by this way we can extrapolate that graph, and we can find out the shelf life of your cream, because at the higher temperature it will take the very less time to get decreased or to get declined. Then if you are keeping it at the normal temperature or at the lower temperature, then it will take the more time to be decreased. So by this way we can find out the shelf life of your cream. Then next study is the spreadability. Spreadability means what? At which how the your cream is spreaded on the your skin when we are applying it, whether it is easily spreading or not. So to detect the spreadability of your cream, simply you can take the two slides, glass slide, and on one slide you just at the one end you apply your cream, and by the another slide you just spread your cream, and you join your both the slides. So by this way, we can get the idea that whether your cream is throughout the spreading on the slides or not. So by this way, we can find out the spreadability of your cream. Then sensitivity test is there for their cream when we are applying it on your skin. So it should not be having any kind of sensitivity to your cream. It should not create any kind of you can say itching problem or irritating problem, or it should not give the stain. So for this purpose, we can use the your any kind of rabbit or the mice for the detecting the sensitivity of your cream. So for that purpose, you can take any standard cream from the market also, and you can apply your prepared cream also. So this test is done by the patch test. So for this purpose, you just take your any animal, and on this animal skin, you first of all remove the hairs, and on the particular area, you apply the particular quantity of the sample. One side you apply your standard preparation, and another side you apply your prepared cream, and then observe the difference between the both the samples, or whatever you have prepared the cream. So after the application, within 2 or 3 hours, you will get the idea that whether it is causing the irritation or redness or any kind of inflammation or the edema on the skin of that animals. So by this way, we can get the idea whether it is sensitive or not, whether it is safe or. Now the biological testing is there. As we are taking the sensitivity test, in the same manner, we have to carry out the biological testing. Under the biological testing, generally we are carrying out this test for the those creams which is containing the antiseptics, hormones, or the any kind of vitamins. Or we can say simply for the medicated creams, we have to carry out the biological testing also. The same test is carried out by using the as like as sensitive test. We have to use the any kind of animals, suitable animals like rabbit or the mice or the rat. We can check, and then we can apply this cream on the skin of that animals. So for that purpose, we have to develop the such kind of condition. For example, suppose infection is there for any animals. So in that case, we can use the antiseptic cream, and we can observe that where after the application of this antiseptic cream, whether you are getting effect or not, whether is there any improvement in uh, uh, your wound healing or not. Then in case of hormones also, we can give the idea that if you are having the hormone type of cream, whether it is releasing hormones or not properly. Then vitamin also we can check by this way, whether they are reaching into the blood or not. So these are the biological tests. Apart from this, we are having the diffusion test also for the cream. In the diffusion test, we can apply the your cream on the skin of that animal, and then after the application of particular suppose 1 gram or whatever the dose is there, so particular dose we have to apply on the skin of that animal, and then after the 10 minutes, after the 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, so likewise interval we have to take the blood samples of that animal, and then how much amount of drug has been released from your cream into the blood, we can get idea. So take that blood samples after every 10 minutes, or whatever the protocol has been designed as per your experimental procedure. So just take the sampling, and then dilute that blood with the suitable, we can say, dilution method, and then observe the concentration of your drug in the blood by using the spectrophotometer. Then by this way, you will get the idea that how much amount of drug has been released through the skin into the blood, and then you can plot the graph that after 10 minutes how much concentration of drug is there, after 20 minutes how much concentration you got. Then by this way you will get the increasing concentration of the drug, and then you can plot the graph of that concentration of drug versus time. Then you can get idea that within how much minute, how much amount of drug has been released inside your blood. So this is the in vivo study. If you want to carry out the in vitro study for the diffusion purpose, then you can use the diffusion cell. What is diffusion cell? Diffusion cell is having the two separate compartment, and these two compartment are joined with the help of semi-permeable membrane. So that semi-permeable membrane will work as like as your skin, or it will act as a barrier also, and it will transmit the very much small concentration of the drug from one compartment to the another compartment. Now, in the both the compartment, you fill up the uh, one fluid or the distilled water, and then from one compartment you have to add the appropriate quantity of the your cream. For example, suppose you have prepared the medicated cream, take the 1 gram of that cream, add into the one compartment of your diffusion cell, then your drug will mix into that compartment, and it will form the, or it will get dissolved into that solution, and slowly it will pass from the semi permeable membrane to the another compartment. It means where we have added your drug, that is called as the, you can say, a donor compartment, and another compartment which is joined to with the your donor compartment, that is called as the receiver compartment. Then in the receiver compartment, slowly your drug will pass through the parchment membrane into the receiver compartment. Then how much amount of drug has been passed or diffused from that receiver donor compartment to the receiver compartment, that we have to note down. Now here, what you have to do, when you have added the just here one drug into the your receiver donor compartment, then from the your receiver compartment you take the sample of the that solution. Suppose you have taken the 1 ml, after 10 minutes, then go for the dilution and check the concentration of drug diffused from that semi permeable membrane. Then after again 20 minutes you take the sample and check the how much amount of drug has been released. So by this way you will get the idea that how much amount of drug has been released, or how much amount of drug has been diffused from the semi permeable membrane within that 1 hour, and then you can plot the graph, your concentration of the drug versus time. So this is the diffusion test generally we have to carry out for the medicated creams. Those creams which are applied on the skin and the drug has been released into the blood. For that type of cream only we have to carry out this diffusion test. So this is about the evaluation parameters of the creams. So here we have finished the about your creams.